Hello and welcome back to this very small community that is the Turnstile. My name's Harry and today I'm going to be touching base on the game that Arsenal had at home last night to Sporting. Just before we start, we're on the road to 100 subscribers, so if you can press the subscribe button below, join the community, it would be massively, massively appreciated. So the game last night was a very tough game indeed. It was a bit of a bitter pill to swallow. We didn't play particularly well. Going into it, I didn't expect it to be 1-1, going all the way down to a penalty shootout. It's probably the last thing that we would have wanted, given that we've got a game at the weekend. I've seen a lot of people come out and say that they're happy to be out of the Europa League. I think it's a bittersweet situation. Obviously, anyone who's saying that they're happy to go out, it's a total lie. We would have, of course, loved to have won the Europa League. However, you have to look on the bright side of it in the sense of it then allows you to focus on the Premier League. You've got 11 games left there. But in the game itself, I think it was concerning that we weren't clinical enough in front of goal. We had 9 shots on target to their 2. Trossard missed a great chance, 1v1. Great save by their goalkeeper. And it's been a slight theme to some of the games that we've seen coming back from the World Cup, just like past that Christmas period. A lot of games that we've played have been to the wire. It goes all the way to the end. We do manage to grind out the result, but we're not making it easy. We saw it against Leicester. Obviously, it was just that 1-0 margin. We saw it against Manchester United with a last-minute goal, against Bournemouth again with another last-minute goal. So I think moving forward, we need to really think about killing games off earlier. We could have done that last night. I think that the injuries that we had on the pitch didn't help us at all. Tomiyasu coming off does look very concerning. He was seen leaving the stadium on crutches yesterday, so it looks like that might be a long-term one. But I think the key one is Saliba. If Saliba's out, it can derail the rest of the season. The guy has been phenomenal for us. Very solid. He's got a great relationship with Gabriel at centre-back. So touch wood, he should be okay. Obviously, we've got the international break coming up as well. So if it is a case that he just misses the one game and then he's got the extra week to recover, that would be amazing. The Sporting goal, unbelievable. Great strike. I think it was 42 yards it was recorded from. I don't think there's anyone that you can really blame for it. I've seen Ramsdale getting a lot of criticism because you should never be beaten from that sort of style of range. But when you think about it, he hit that shot inch perfect. If he took that shot another 100, 200, 300 times, he's not going to pull that off. If that's what's going to knock you out of the Europa League, so be it. If it's not meant to be your day, it's not meant to be your day. Although I'm disappointed to be out of the cup, like I said before, it is massive in terms of what it does for us in the Premier League. We've got 11 games left now. We've seen a lot of the players that we've been playing sort of week in, week out, looking tired. People like Bukayo Saka, Granit Xhaka playing the full game. Ben White just playing constantly, midweek and the weekend. So I think coming out of the Europa League, it will allow us to rest players. It will give us the best chance moving forward in the Premier League. And obviously we've got a huge game on Sunday against Crystal Palace. Obviously I've seen this morning that Patrick Vieira was sacked by Crystal Palace, which I think is a bizarre decision considering the job that he's done there. If anything, this season they're overachieving on where they should be. When you look at the run of games that they've had in recent weeks, you've had some really big games in there. Stuff like Manchester City, for example. They've played United. When you look forward at the games that they've got left, they've got all your relegation rivals. You've got people like Wolves, Nottingham Forest, Everton. They still have to play. So I think it's a bit of a harsh decision. I think when you're looking at sacking a manager in the situation that you are in, you're doing what's best for the club. And a decision like that, you have to be thinking this decision, the sacking of Patrick Vieira, is going to be the one that's going to avoid relegation. If anything, I think it's made their job harder. For us as Arsenal fans, I think it's given us horrendous flashbacks to the Everton game the other week. The new manager bounce of Sean Dyche, hopefully we won't have that with Crystal Palace. It should just be a caretaker manager that comes in for them. But you never know. Palace have been a very tough team for us to play. They've been a bit of a bogey team for us in recent years. My prediction would be that we beat them 2-0, being at the Emirates, coming off the back of a defeat. If there's one thing that I think I have noticed about Arsenal this year is that we respond to setbacks very, very well. We've seen it during games where we go sort of 1-2-0 down. We've seen it when we came off the loss to Manchester City a couple of weeks ago. The response from it was brilliant. We then went 5 unbeaten in the Premier League. We just went on a winning streak. So I think this team has it in them to sort of turn this around. They will use this loss as a motivator. With Martinelli as well, we know that he has been struggling for confidence. Recently, we were saying it just before he went on this goal-scoring spree and he hit this great bit of form. My concern would be that missing a penalty like that, how is that going to affect his mentality? I think Martin Odegaard, Granit Xhaka, people like that will really step up in the dressing room. They'll put an arm around him and they will help him develop. And like I say, I think it will breed almost an anger and a desire, a drive to now go on and win this Premier League title. Now, in terms of the player ratings, I give Aaron Ramsdale a 5 out of 10. He didn't have a huge amount to do. At the same time, he was beaten from 42 yards, so not a great game for him. Zinchenko, I would say a 4 to a 5. Great on the ball, but very, very sloppy in possession. We saw it again today. I thought Gabriel was solid. You can probably give him a 6. We lost William Saliba and Tomiyasu, but we saw Rob Holding come on. Again, I would say it's a standard 5 for Rob Holding. He wasn't amazing, but he wasn't terrible. Ben White came in, did a good job. I'd say a 4 out of 10. Again, we did lose the game, so you can't be too generous with it. Granit Xhaka, you'd give a 5 for getting the goal, playing pretty solidly in midfield. Jorginho, probably one of his quieter games. I'd give him a 4 out of 10. Fabio Vieira, I think he's really struggling at the moment. I'd probably give him a 3 to a 4 out of 10. Not a great performance from him. Same with Reece Nelson, I think went hiding. Gabriel Jesus, when he played, looked really sharp. He looks like he's going to be dangerous when he gets back into playing 90 minutes. Obviously, I think it was supposed to be a little bit longer that he was playing for, maybe the 60 minutes. But when you look at the injuries that we had and the substitution windows that left us, obviously we made the 2 separate subs in the first half. We have 3 substitution windows. He's then had to be forced into making that change at half time rather than, say, 60 minutes. But I think he looked really sharp when he was on there. Gabriel Martinelli, again, I'd probably give a 4. Looked lively at times, but not clinical enough. And then obviously you've got Odegaard, Saka, and Partey. Again, all good. Trossard came on as well. Probably a standard 4 out of 10 for most of them. Not a huge amount that they had to do. I think the main concern from them coming on was the fact that we ended up having to play key players, a full-strength team as such, for a long amount of time. We played 120 minutes of football, and we've got a game on Sunday. So I think that's the main concern for me. It felt like a lose-lose in the sense that we didn't get to rest the players and we didn't get to go through. If we had gone with a full-strength team, we'd won 12-0, for example, but then we were knackered and we lost to Palace on Sunday, I'd be really, really annoyed. So I understand why he's made the decisions that we have. It's all about moving forwards now. So Sunday, huge game just before the international break. A great chance to go 8 points clear at the top of the Premier League. If we can take it, this loss is almost forgotten about. It will just fade away into the background and it will be all focus on the Premier League. So thank you very much again for listening. Any comments, likes, subscribes you can drop on the video would really go a long way. And thank you for joining me on the road to 100 subscribers.